Hello, I'm AppyX Toycat, and welcome back to an episode of the Minecraft Bedrock Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the weekly update as to what's been going on in both my survival world, as well as life, the universe, and everything in between. Today, I'm going to be working on what has been the result of about 3.5 hours now across 2 separate streams of destroying an end city. I took an entire end city and I put it inside these lovely shulker boxes, which if you think about it, and believe me, I thought about it, that means that I killed all of the inhabitants of a place, you know, the entity's inhabitants are shulkers, and then I tore down their home, and then I stored their entire home inside their bodies. It's a little gruesome, but you know what? They totally deserve it. Shulkers are such an annoying mob, and allow me to get some retribution on them by working on what I think is probably my first small to medium-sized build I've done in a while. Actually, you know what? Big Salmon, despite being called Big Salmon, was kind of medium-sized. A problem that I have recently, and indeed in this project, which is the crossover of 3 very big projects by themselves. I mined a bunch of end pillars, I mined an entire desert, and I mined an entire end city. Obviously, it takes a lot of time to do all those things, and I'm starting to realize, like, you know, those are important. It's nice to have big ambitious projects, but sometimes it's going to be nice just to work on smaller things as well. And that, you know, and that's why today I'm making a nice little because you know this used to be a desert, now it's not. Let's make a nice little desert temple, but we'll make it from the purple blocks. We might use some glass as well. I'm not too sure. The banners might be a good idea. We'll see what we do as we go through this. But let's make ourselves a desert temple in the former desert, now the Obsidian Desert, with the best bit being that unlike my other fake desert, this one actually won't have rain in it. Is it raining right now? Couldn't tell you, to be honest. But yeah, let's let's start this, shall we? So I have basically one condition, one thing that I need to watch out for this, and this is that I want the, oops, wrong block. And that is that I want the kind of the center of this to be at 730 on the z-axis. That lines up perfectly with my end portal over there, and that means that I want to link to this biome to the end, which, given it's got a bunch of obsidian and now purple blocks, it's got a pretty heavy end link. It means that I'll be able to do this. So this has to be the exact midpoint on the side, which I'll keep in mind. And also, I guess we should start building everywhere else. Let's go. I think a desert temple is 19 by 19. I usually, with desert temples, it's really easy to like feel it out by thinking about the pieces. In case you're curious, I've now built a silly number of desert temples in Minecraft. Survival and creative. Some would say too many. I would disagree with that characterization though, because yeah, I think desert temples are important. But yeah, the way that I feel out a desert temple is it's got 5 blocks for the pillar at the very end here. If I'm not mistaken, there we go, 5 blocks. We'll use some pillar blocks in there later. Then it kind of goes back a little bit, and then there's 3 blocks, and then there's like this kind of central pillar going on somewhere over here, which I guess would go out again. Aha! I'm always annoyed at having to place blocks, just place other blocks. I love using torches to do that instead. So then there's 5 blocks right over here, and then we go back to 3 blocks over here, which is the divider between this center and then the next pillar, and then there's 5 blocks for that. That makes a total of 3 5s and 2 3s, which is, if I'm not mistaken, not 19, it's 21. So it's 21 by 21 blocks. Let's count that out in person just to be sure. So I was really worried I'd have to destroy some part of my desert temple, but the good news is I already messed up enough, and the way I messed up is I divided 19 by 2, got like, oh yeah, 10 with then the middle block. No, that makes 21. I accidentally made it perfect, which I'm now going to take credit for and be like, I am the Desert Temple Whisperer. So now on the other side we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously we get some problems going that way, so we'll just start over here. That's 7, that's 8, and there should be a 9th block here and a 10th block over here, but obviously those things don't exist. So for now, we'll leave this like this and hope this doesn't confuse me later. Let's get the Desert Temple going, or rather, let's get the Purple Temple going. And yeah, it's exciting to, oh, I guess this doesn't work precisely like that, but again, we'll work this all out later. I guess we'll start with these big pillars, and while we start with the big pillars, you know, as you know, if you've been watching the Let's Play for any amount of time, which I'll admit might be not true, but if you've been watching the Let's Play for any amount of time, you're probably already familiar with the fact that this is the weekly update into not only my life, but the universe and everything in between as well. And the reason that that is so relevant and maybe important is because of the fact that, okay, I can do this. Can we do this? We can do this. Let's make them out of glass. You know, there's like these markings on the center. It's great. But it means that we not only talk about Minecraft right here, which is important, but also everything else that's been going on in the world. And honestly, you know what? There are some important things going on in the world. First up, one of the big ones for me is I'm trying to like get a handle on my Minecraft like projects and being like, okay, sometimes, also, do you think that looks good? Or do you think it looked better if I used pillar blocks? Now, it definitely looks better like that. We could use end. We could later replace them with the end stone bricks. But for now, I think that does a nice enough job. What do you reckon? And then, oh, we should be using pillar blocks for the other blocks though. But you know, again, we can work that all out later. For now, let's just take our victory lap. Let's take our glory. Let's admit how great we clearly are doing because we made all of this. And this is our vague look at what this pillar might look like. I do kind of like it actually. Again, having the tiny bit more texture of the pillar blocks adds something. So now we'll see on the other side, but we'll do this one correctly, just to make sure that it looks better with the pillar blocks. So now we grab a third block. You know, I'm going to remove the shears from here. Going to put this back out. And I'm going to talk about the fact that, like, yeah, getting a handle on working... Okay, so one of the bad habits, it's really easy to get into. And honestly, it's not even one I recommend, like, getting out of if it's not too tragic for you. Okay, I'm immediately made the mistake here. Of taking under like stuff that is too much for you, you know? Like it's a really fun idea. Like in Q&A Saturday, someone said, "Oi Toy Cat, really good idea is if you go all the way to the far lands to show how rare mountains are." And it's like, that's a fun idea, but that would take me a month. Either I start that and I lose an entire month to it, or I realize that I can't start that and I save not only the month, but because I'm never going to finish that, I save all the time until that month where I don't finish a thing. Because not finishing a thing sometimes can look okay. What's the best unfinished project I have around here? Maybe those sand lines. Like, that, you know, there's something kind of ugly about that. What was I trying to do there? I think I was starting to drain this like it was an ocean monument, maybe. Maybe I was trying to keep dolphins locked away. Again, literally could not tell you. And that lack of being able to tell people things is a bad thing for a YouTuber. Okay. Let's look at the two sides together now, and let's compare. Honestly, maybe it's because the last block's not there, but I kind of prefer the one on the right, even though it's like less textured and uses fewer blocks than it probably should. Huh, that's interesting. So yeah, now we're gonna work on the front of the thing, you know, the all-important bit, in my opinion, and also make sure that this corner is at least slightly in place. You can see how we barely have space. This is amazing. I love when things accidentally work out like this. We have just the perfect spot for this end temple kind of lying around right here. I love it. Like, you can see how I've not placed the obsidian there. That was just, I haven't got around to it yet. It looks great like that. Oh, by the way, this is my obsidian desert. If you've been watching streams, we've been slowly filling it in. It's been really fun. But yeah, like knowing the size of a project to chew off is a surprisingly hard ability to have, in my opinion. Like, it's really, again, like, it seems like a simple enough task, like, okay, only do things that you can finish. Wow, really easy task. I'm just gonna start doing that. But, you know, like, there's so many places where, like, that can get the better of you. And in Minecraft, I'm trying to get a better grip on when I should start a project and when something is a terrible idea that I should never be starting. And, you know, an example of that is, like, this thing right here. I have a grand plan for a desert temple that will go around this desert temple. I want there to be a giant desert temple that envelopes this one. I guess it'd be envelopes, but I want to have like a giant, you know, desert temple around this because I think that'd be cool. But also I know, okay, I'm gonna make the miniature one first because that way if I give up on the project, at least there's something there, you know, having something to work on. Like, it's so much easier to improve something that already exists than it is to start something. And this is something I've realized because I've been buying a house in real life. You want to know about the real world? Yeah, I've been purchasing a home. It's been, you know, it's like it's a really nice house. I'm looking forward to living in it. Don't get me wrong, but also it's absolutely terrifying to me that, like, oh yeah, I have to go through a lot of processes. Also, I'm gonna be not in the country for a lot of those processes, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be all okay, right? And it's like the answer is no. It will not be all okay. But the goal is to just make it as okay as it can be. And so one of the things is if you don't know, buying and selling a home is like a huge legal process because you need to scan a bunch of I don't know how much of this is required, but like, you know what? When you're buying an asset that big, you do a lot of checks in it, and it costs like thousands. And there's someone who needs a lot of documents to confirm that you are eligible to buy the house, etc., etc. It's a lot of steps, at least in the UK. I'm sure it's similar in wherever you live. But basically, I got a thing today from my they're called solicitors in the UK, but think of it, they're house lawyers, right? They're lawyers that specialize in buying and selling homes. And I got a email that was like, so we've attached 11 PDFs. Each of those PDFs is something we need you to do for us. And then I got a call from my stage and being like, hey, so we need to get started soon, right? Like, I haven't got a call from these people yet. Is something going wrong? Basically, like it wasn't that pressuring, but it was like, yeah, this needs to be done today, basically. And so, like, the task of doing 11. By the way, do you like that? It looks kind of like a face, right? The task of doing 11. The task of doing 11 of. Oh god, I think I'm gonna need to raise up the obsidian here. This isn't gonna work otherwise. So for now, we'll just place some purple blocks there. Nice and easy. Allows me to do what I want to do. But yeah, the task of doing 11 of something is just so beyond. Oh, I actually needed the purple there. It's so beyond terrifying in a way that I can't even properly describe, right? Just like, oh no, this isn't a simple thing. It's 11. You know, each of them has like some intricate things I need to find, and it was super, super terrifying. And I realized like, okay, this is something I'm used to doing at this point. You just got to break it up into smaller tasks. And so again, it was like, okay, some of these are just, I've got to read through and confirm that I've read it. Easy, can do that. You know, to attack the easiest ones first, then deal with the hardest ones, you know, the ones requiring billing or whatever else later. By doing that, I got the thing done by breaking it up in a way that I really liked. And that's kind of how this Obsidian Desert, this is like one of the most ambitious new build ideas. Every time I think about it, I come up with a new idea, but I'm like, no new ideas. I don't get to feel good about the ideas until I can do them. I've got to make a bite-sized chunk, you know, 2 hours of Minecrafting at the worst, because that's roughly how long my streams are when I do them. Like 2 hours, we're gonna do something, and then feel good about those 2 hours. I don't like this. Placing the obsidian has taken me like 6 hours. I want to maybe like 4 hours so far. And like the desert looks like a mess. I should have focused on sections first, so we didn't have stuff like this. But you know, at least it's easy to see where the rest can be. When you've got like creative decisions that you've got to make, and you're terrified because making the wrong one's gonna make something ugly, that's just a recipe for disaster, is all I'm saying. And okay, so now let's work on the other side of this. Okay, so this wall isn't actually this high, right? This is the bottom, so this actually goes down a block. Yep, and then instead we have, oh, do not, for some reason this area of my world has like serious realms issues. I have no idea why that is, but yeah, now the blocks go all the way like this, easy. And we place all of those going around. Also we place these going around till we hit 21 blocks, which I don't know when we'll hit that. But again, you can see my purple temple shape taking form. A purple temple seems like such a small idea on the surface. Like, yeah, I'll just use like, what, like 1,000 purple blocks? But even then, it's gonna take this entire Let's Play, right? It's gonna be a big episode. I thought it'd be done in 20 minutes and I'd run out of time. But estimating how long something will take and knowing how much you actually can do in a single session is such a huge part of getting anything done. Like, there's this video that I've wanted to do forever, and it's just been sitting there, basically like taunting me for the longest time, because I don't want to deal with it. Okay, so I'm gonna do some counting real quick. Okay, we got to 21 blocks by 21 blocks. So assuming nothing terrible happens, we should be good right now. We got some real progress going on here, huh? But yeah, basically, there is a so much of like getting things done. I find that like I struggle with it sometimes, but I'm trying to improve. It's just like being able to see tasks as doable. When like maybe this isn't true for everyone, maybe it's just me, like being overwhelmed by having a lot on my plate or something. But like when there's a lot that needs to be done, I kind of just panic and do none of it, and then it piles up and gets so much worse. And it's like, no, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whereas if I'm at least like familiar, like, okay, we just gotta do this. It's gonna be easy. We can do it. It's gonna be great. Then you know, like having like a game plan, basically, I guess is what I'm saying, makes a lot of things so much easier. Just like knowing that you can do something makes it much more doable to do anything, I find. And so yeah, that's why, like, okay, this purple temple, I've built enough desert temples before. On the fly, the only decisions I have to make are like what I'm gonna use for the accent blocks, you know, these purple glass blocks, what I'm gonna use for the, you know, the alternate blocks. Will I use stairs or not? I think a desert temple has stairs on the roofs of the towers. And it's like, okay, can do that. That's easy enough. I don't know, like having like some amount of planning always sucks, and just knowing the minimum amount of planning required is like what I actually recommend, because planning everything is like an easy way to waste time. There are so many plans that I've made. In fact, if you've downloaded the Let's Play world, you probably know in that plan, in the like the idea place, I've got a bunch of plans written down that I've never come back to. I've forgotten about because I don't care about them. The plan is worthless, right? I still want to finish my my desert woodland mansion thing. But again, the plan is worthless. I haven't come back to it yet, and that's terrible. And so, okay, I need to leave that block. Actually, wait, let's line that up with the center. What do you know? It already is lined up. How perfect. So that's going to be the very center of like the pit that goes down, and then later we can turn it into an elytra tunnel or something if we really want to. Oh, also there's like a little sub-entrance behind here. I want to say it's like as simple as this. I think it's probably made from pillar blocks though. Yeah, it's got to be something more impressive than just sand. Also, yeah, sandstone. It's going to be chiseled sandstone, or chiseled purpose stone as it's called here. So there we go. Now we've got the front of the desert temple just about formed, right? You can see how we're slowly getting there. But yeah, desert temple is like a surprisingly easy structure once you understand it. Like, like again, even the like understanding how you understand something is another like tricky one. Like a lot of one of the things that I find so maybe I just find education too interesting, but like a lot of YouTube tutorials will focus really heavily on like things that just don't make any sense to me. It's like, why are you saying, who is this useful for? I don't understand. And so a lot of YouTube tutorials like are just like, yeah, this is how I understand it. And knowing like multiple ways of understanding something and being able to like say them both at the same time, I guess, is like a real skill that I'd like to be better at. And knowing how you understand something is a really important thing too. And the way I like to understand things is like, yeah, ratios and stuff like that. Like remembering the exact dimensions of a desert temple, I can't do that. The fact that I thought it was 19 by 19, not 21 by 21, really hard. Even though it's something I looked at literally just before I started recording. But the fact that I know just always, it's 5 blocks for the corners, it's 5 blocks for the center, then there's 3 blocks between them. I hope this is correct, by the way. It'd be so funny. I'm making this whole speech about how I remember something, and then it's going to be wrong at the end. But yeah, the fact that that works is kind of a thing. Also, by the way, another thing that I've been thinking about a lot this week to try and improve. Also, we should really just like cover as much of this as we can, so I don't fall through the floor anymore. That seems like a good idea if I can do that. But so one of the things I've realized this last week, because like I said, so I'm purchasing a house. There's a lot of money involved for both parties. They're gonna make a lot of money. I'm gonna lose a lot of money, and by lose I mean I guess I'm gonna spend a lot of money. You know, but that's how houses work. Are you familiar? Toycat explains adult life. Houses cost money. But so basically like when I last bought a house, the one I live in right now, it was like a really stressful time. I just keep on getting like calls from the estate agent being like, you know, you got to move fast. Why is this not happening, etc., etc. And I'd be like, it's in someone else's hands. They're like, make sure you push them then. And it's like they're like a lawyer, you know. I'm sure my push. So like, you know, I do it. And I felt like it had nothing. It just was just me being like stressed by people demanding things from me I can't do because for some reason I don't. You know, it's weird that I don't enjoy that, huh? It's weird that people asking for things that aren't in my power to deliver is something I find stressful. And it's funny because this time round, because I was so pushy before the sale, like, hey, I need to do this fast. There's a tax increase or tax cut break that's ending soon if you live in the UK. If you don't know, houses are very slightly cheaper to buy right now, so it's like we got to get it through before then. Otherwise, I'll you know be paying a lot of money that I would rather let's be honest, don't expect to be paying and don't have to pay. So like let's get this done fast. And because I pushed them so much about it, I haven't got a single like push from them besides like, oh yeah, we just haven't got a call from this. Are you sure about that? And I find that to be an interesting thing. I find this to be such an interesting like trait about humans that like, oh yeah, so people like to, again, like one of the kind of necessities of getting things done at a certain level is like continuously reminding people to do their part of it. Because the sort of person who's going to remind you to do something is the sort of person you want off your back, whereas someone who doesn't care about it, you're not going to worry about. It's like, to make a middle school analogy, it's like the teacher that doesn't care about homework is the homework that you do last, whereas the teacher that's like really arsy about it and gives you detention, you do that stuff first, right? So when someone chases you, you do something first. But because I was so pushy, they're not going to be pushing me at all now, right? And I don't know why I find that to be so intriguing, but I do. Like, oh yeah, they would have been pushy with me, but I was so pushy of them, they don't need to be. They have it assumed that we're on that same objective already. And I find that almost annoying, actually. Like, the easiest way to get someone not to, like, again, annoy you about something outside of your control is to annoy them about something outside of their control. Like, I really do, I'm not gonna, I don't want to understate it here. I really do hate that. I really do think that's like, again, not to overuse this word, but like a flaw in the construction of humans. The fact that like, oh yeah, they're really pushing me, so I don't need to push them about this. It's like, why can't we all be more chill? And the answer is because people won't do what they need to do if we're all too chill about it. But it's like, can't we just all agree to not do? Like, here's an interesting thing. So there was a big note saying like, hey, we can't favor you over other clients. In one of the PDFs I had to read this morning to make everything work. And I found that to be a really interesting line to include because it's something I would never expect, but it is the sort of thing I've heard about and heard people bragging about, if I'm being honest, previously. And it's like, yeah, actually, that's a really good line to have in there. Like, I can't believe... Oh, we have to remove these so we can actually place the giant towers up. Actually, yeah, let's just place those towers now. We have to do it anyway, right? That's something that like I've heard people brag about before. Like, oh yeah, I called them and I made sure they prioritized me over everyone else. And it's like, oh, so you pushed in line, did you? That's what you did there. You think that you're more important than everyone else that exists because you're not aware of the existence of other people yet. Really, really proud of you. I like any system that's like, yeah, we don't care about your personal circumstances. We'll deal with you when you deal with you. Like some people don't like that, and it clearly isn't a very successful system as a result. But I like it so much that like, yeah, your success is not defined by you being a pushy monster and trying to like, again, like, in my opinion, trying to, like, make everyone else slower to make yourself faster. Instead, it's just, it happens when it happens. But when someone says that, you think, that means they don't care about me at all. It's a weird dichotomy, and I'm talking way too much about legal processes. I'm sorry, internet. How about, I mentioned the weird thing about it that, like, again, the weird, like, side benefit or the weird, like, kind of thing to the side of this is it means that, like, oh yeah, the easiest way to get people to leave you alone is to, like, convince them you want something too hard. And it's interesting because that's, like, a human rule that goes, it's not just like, oh yeah, it's not just the legal professional, like, trying to get a sale to complete as fast as you can. It's also like, think about, if someone offers you something, like something for free, you're like, oh, that's nice. But if they try to push the free thing on you, they're like, no, please take this now. You're like, why is that? What is your motivation? Why is your motivation so strong in ensuring that I have this right now? What's the deal with, you get like suspicious of them? Someone could be giving you, like, even like a guy was on, like, stopped me on the street recently. Actually, he yelled at me from across the street. Sorry, incorrect memorization right there. And he's like, hey, do you want to buy some meat? I can give you a really good deal. He had a shopping bag with him that, if I'm not mistaken, contained the meat. And ignoring the dodginess of that, if I'm sure under different circumstances, that discount bag of meat that he was offering me might have been a thing I was interested in. Honestly, I know this is like my weird, like, not committing fully to not eating animals thing, but like I'm like really grossed out by the concept of meat. I love meat when it's processed to the point where it just becomes food. Like, is a McDonald's burger really meat? I mean, it is, but like it's just this generic beef tasting thing, right? But are these both the same height? They are. So basically, I really, really, really am weirded out by meat, and that's one of the reasons I wouldn't buy it. But like, I've had so many other things. Like, yeah, someone offers to sell me a bike for £10 on the street, and I'm like, well, ignoring the faultability of that bike, that to me indicates the bike is stolen. Your eagerness to get this sale done quickly makes me cautious of you as an individual, and maybe it sucks that we have to be that way. Maybe that's like a thing that we shouldn't wish on ourselves, because there like, I have this monitor. I would give it away to someone for £10 if they just took it away from me. But if you act like I just need to get rid of this, people get suspicious. They're like, why do you need to get rid of this? And it's maybe a problem we have. Maybe it's a social contract issue. But also, one of the things that I feel like the modern world has ruined me for is if anyone offers me something for free that has any real value to me, that's like, you stop me on the street, you offer me a CD? No. You stop me on the street, you offer me pretty much anything, I'm going to be like, nope. I won't acknowledge someone who, like, tries to be pushy. And that's annoying, because someone who actually is being nice and trying to give something away for free is going to get, like, the blank treatment from me, right? Because, I just don't know if I can trust or believe in them or whatever. And that sucks, because someone's actually going to have a really nice idea one day. In fact, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. one of my like rich people ideas, if I ever become a rich people with ideas, is one of my rich people ideas is to, you know, like I lived in Vegas for a while. There's always weird things like you can get a free drink here. Oh, there's this I don't know, strip club with free entry. We can get you a free taxi ride there too. And it's like, so you're paying for the taxi ride and there's no entry fee. I'm terrified about where you're making that money. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know how that works, but I'm terrified of the concept. Like you are, you know, like, because the only reason people give away things away for free is when they have, I don't want to call it ulterior motive. That seems a little mean, you know, to the motives. But like when they have some benefit for doing so. And a lot of times that benefit is wholesome enough, right? Like, oh yeah, my benefit is, you know, like if a dude, once I was at the zoo and someone was giving out fruit shoots and their benefit was they were being paid to be there. And the company's benefit was you might buy more fruit shoots. Easy, sure, I can deal with that. That's a fine ulterior motive to have. But when you don't know someone's ulterior motive, like with the meat guy, why was he selling discount meat? What was he trying to achieve there? Or with the cheap bike from a dodgy person who definitely doesn't look, you know, who's approaching people on the street because for some reason they've determined that online is not the place to sell. You know, you know, people are always talking about e-commerce being the future. The real future of commerce is stopping people on the street and asking if they want your discount products. That is that is what this fine young person had determined, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna build this now. Hey, look at that. The shape is finally coming together. I like it. Actually, you know, I'm starting to think maybe this is a bad idea. I'm starting to think, what if we did something horribly wrong here? Like, the color is looking a little bit samey as I use it too much here. You know, I'm sure it'll come back together. I'm sure there'll be a wonderful resurgence is maybe the word I'm looking for here. We'll see if that comes to pass. But yeah, let's, I guess because, like, the front isn't on right now. I bet if we look at it from the back. Oh, look, see? It's an obsidian desert. Is it raining right now? I can tell you. Why is it raining in the desert? What is wrong? Okay, wait. Maybe if I'm over here? Okay, there we go. Look at, okay, wait. Ah, there we go. Is it raining right now? I couldn't tell you. See, obsidian desert. I don't know why it rains over here, though. Like, this is distinctly a desert. Oh, it doesn't rain here. Oh, I guess the desert biome is, like, over to the side. That's such an odd thing. At this particular spot, it doesn't rain, and I can see the sun. And then I go slightly further forwards. And I think the rain just ended, actually. Oh, no, it didn't. There goes the sun. It has a... It's so interesting to see the way it fades in and out as I go through the rain. Okay, we don't have time for that right now. We're 29 minutes in or something like that. We gotta make sure we finish this today. I made a commitment and I intend to stick to it. So I guess now we're gonna, to make this match the desert, we're gonna bring this down because when desert temples generate on uneven ground, they just kind of fill in the gap, just like this. And so like looking unnatural is a good way to make it look natural, I think. Yep, that works for me. And then similar thing under here, but I don't know where it's gonna end yet. So similar thing under here too. Just like a little bit under most of this side. Oh god, yeah. All of this as well. It's fine, you know, it's great. I'm glad that it's here. Oh, it's gonna go really bottom heavy on this side, huh? You know, screw it. Yeah, let's just... We can always place the obsidian under it. And having it be more lopsided makes it look more natural. Oh, it's thunder. It's not even just rain. There's some lightning storms to go with it as well. And then by the time it gets to this side, it gets much better. So we'll do that maybe. Yeah, that seems about right. So yeah, later we're gonna remove all of this obsidian from under here, and we're gonna fill in the last of the gaps. For now, let's place purple on all four sides of this. We'll remove this middle block, and we can later turn it into like a tunnel or something. Oh god. Right, yeah, I forgot mobs spawn like crazy under the obsidian. Because it's very dark, and I didn't think to make a lighting system. Which was very intelligent of me, I assure you. Oh god. Anyway, so with that said, I think there's this really interesting like relationship adage. It's from How I Met Your Mother, but like I think it's got like, it's something people say in a lot of places, not just in that one TV show. They're like, the easiest way to convince someone to break up with you is just to be like, you know, like way too strong, you know. Obviously that's like early dating technique. If you tell someone you're in a long-term relationship, you love with them, that's a good way to convince them you do love them. Pro tip: tell people you love them, and they'll believe that you love them. You know, I should be paid for my relationship advice right here. But basically, I think it's really interesting that this phenomenon of when you want something a lot, other people get suspicious. You have to be like kind of casual in a lot of places. Like, yeah, it's kind of yeah, sure, I guess that's how it is. And I don't think it's a good phenomenon. I feel like the fewer places you have it in your life, the happier you'll maybe be in the end. But maybe that's just me being crazy. I don't know for sure. What I do know for sure, okay, look at this. We're finally getting there. The temple's coming together. So I don't know how many blocks this kind of weird thing on the side is. And I guess it doesn't actually matter. Oh, it does matter because it goes up to the little entrance that we're going to make. So we'll just mine a block over here. So it's free. Okay, so there's 3 blocks down from the top. There's like this one, then there's this one, and then there's this one, which is like the rooftop entrance to the next one. So that goes away. I guess so does this too. Huh. Oh, and then we end up on the block. Ah, there we go. And then from here, there's like an entrance. I want to say it looks like this. No, it can't look like this. We'll just go with that for now. And then there's like a little walkway that goes around the center here. Okay, easy as pie. And then we build the same on the other side. Maybe. Ooh, yeah, it feels very dicey. But that's fine. And then we'll place a block under there. And we'll kind of finish the front of the temple and then deal with the rest of this craziness later. And I assure you it is definitely craziness. Oh, we have to do the same thing on this side. So let's just... Is that the correct layer? That's... I was off in 2 ways on that one. So we go down another block. Destroy. Oh, wait. No, that is... I did it wrong on that side. I messed up the centerness over there. How do I do that? How did I manage to make that mistake? I don't know how I did. But I guess we do that instead. And then we... Oh, Lord. This... We're running out of time. But I'm making this work. It's good. We're great. Is this really 3 blocks long on the inside? I don't know for sure. But I guess I have to believe that it is. Assuming that any of this works. Wait. No, yeah, we're good. So we go all the way around to here. And then this entrance, which is not centered. You know, I might need to take a second. Eat some breads. Or eat some steaks. Just take a moment to work out what I'm doing here. Okay, I think we're good. Next up, I need to make the weird, like, pillars that come out from the ground around here somewhere. So we grab a pillar. It's easier to go and block a pillar than it is to just find it in my inventory. So we place a pillar here. Yeah, for the 3x3 to be there. Then we place a pillar over here. And then we place a pillar over here and over there. And then that should be all that we need here. But it's interesting to me that so much of stuff is like that. Like, yeah, the more someone wants something, the more suspicious you are for them for wanting it. But I think that's like... I think that's something that I guess only works in big cities and stuff. Like, it's only true in those places. But also, it's something I wish wasn't. I think that's why so many people find appeal in small places where you know everyone. You know, where you know your neighbor is the you know, to me that is like the worst sales pitch to living anywhere. Like, you know, I would pay extra money to live somewhere where I had neighbors that weren't real human beings, you know? I would like to have a bunch of guinea pigs as neighbors. That would be... Oh no, have I made the mistake? Okay, no, this is centered. It looked uncentered for a second. I was so terrified. But now we just make sure this lines up with the things we've got in the sky. It does in fact line up. Boom. And now we, I guess, continue placing around there. We did it. We linked in the craziness together. And now we just have to make the front of this. And then we got ourselves a finished temple, I think. I'm sure I'm missing something huge. But yeah, like having like definable goals is a really good idea. Convincing people you want something too much is the easiest way to convince them they don't want something. I wish that wasn't true, but it seems to be. And you know, actually, and also chasing people about deadlines is the easiest way to make them not chase you about deadlines. Like, one of the things, when I was really annoyed about the Let's Play being like pushed back, when I wasn't my own marketplace team and I was working with other ones, I was really, you know, maybe annoyed's the wrong word, but I was very concerned about how many times it'd been pushed back and back and back, and like how I was getting like non-times for stuff, etc. And so I was like repeatedly telling everyone here like, hey, so we're doing our best, but like I'd give people regular updates about the Let's Play world and how's it going in the marketplace. And as soon as I stopped telling people explicitly about this new thing that I was doing, and let's be honest, it was a commercial venture I made. The intention was to make some amount of money selling it. Like, you know, that's what we did. We didn't set it for the minimum of like, what is the minimum price? Like 79 cents. I sold it for a little bit more so I can make some small profit to, per sale myself. And the kind of end, okay, so this goes to there. Now this is the height of the entire like block that goes along the side there. Boom, easy. And I think it goes up to like there. Yeah, I guess it goes all the way up to there. And then all of this is unnecessary, but it's fine. We're out of purple blocks. Oh no, we're not, we're great. But I remember I felt really bad like every time I was like, I don't have an update to give. But when I gave an update that said I have no update to give, I'd get less people asking me about it. And just it's really interesting. It's very interesting to me that the easiest way to make someone not ask you about something is, okay, these are both wrong now. Easiest way is to just ask them about it. If you ask someone, they won't ask you because they'll know that you don't know. And then maybe the real value of the lesson here is communication. Or maybe it's like Toycat worked out the system. Because my number one goal in so much of life is to make people leave me alone. Like that's what paying for a house really is. You're paying for the ability to have very few people be able to, like you have like what, a neighbor, maybe two neighbors if you live in a terraced or row house as they're called in some other countries. I think row house is such a cute word for terrace, but I digress. But like if you have like two neighbors, maybe one even if you're real fancy, and now those are the only people you have to worry about annoying enough that they'll come after you and deal with you. I guess there's always the law, and there's always all the other myriad of people that can annoy you. But like, I feel like that's like an easy way to define a lot of my life goals. It's just, I want people to broadly leave me alone. Can I tell you a story that I feel a little bit I feel a little bad about this, but honestly, I think the person should feel bad and genuinely doesn't. So that's why I feel no shame for telling this story. I was streaming recently. I've been doing a lot of streaming. It's been very fun to like show the survival projects live, and a lot of people have been supporting those streams, making them possible. It's been great. I really appreciate tips. And one of the things I didn't realize until, you don't know until you know sort of thing, is I didn't realize just how much I appreciated tips that didn't come with like a big kind of like, I need this thing from you in return. Because that's not a tip, that is a I'm requesting services, but I'm paying in advance so that you seem awful if you don't give them. And someone joined into a stream, and he gave, I'll admit, like a lot of money. He was like, here's $100, 1v1 me at Minecraft. And I was like, ha 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 ha, yeah, that's funny. We can arrange that sometime, I guess. They're like, no, right now, you are 1v1ing me on this server. And I'm like, I'm playing Bedrock, dude. That's not a server this version game. I've never played, like, that's not a 1v1. You just want to like try and show off your, like, I was like, you can't ask for services, like, it's one thing if you ask, and I'm like, oh, that'd be great, yeah, let's do that. But it was like asking for services after paying for them, and then getting like mad and like tipping a few dollars here and there, being like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? And getting like crazy about it. And so then afterwards, he sent me an email being like, I only did that by accident. Can I have the money back? It's always like, I did it by accident. And it's like, well, you actually very explicitly asked for something, so I don't know about that. But also, sadly, if you tip via YouTube, which this person did, which meant that not all of the money goes towards me, it goes partly towards YouTube. Like the money's in YouTube's hand for quite a while before any of it gets to me. Like I still wouldn't have that money now. It's like you have to deal with YouTube if you need to get a refund or whatever else. Also, I think the stairs are different heights on each side, right? Huh. I wonder how that works. Wait, is that true? But yeah, basically I think this is meant to be more on each side. But I just oh yeah, that's where the mistake is. There's like clearly meant to be a thing here. In fact, let's just have part of the staircase be on the outside. That's probably how it is in real Desert Nibbles anyway. But yeah, so the guy was like, oh yeah, this. And I was like, well, I mean, you did just Like, sure, you can deal with them and try and get that. And then the person was like, oh yeah, also, let's try and have that 1v1, huh? And so my plan, my genius plan that has actually worked is that, again, I utilized this strategy and I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. So we'll get a date organized. What days work for you? Oh, sorry, none of those days work for me. Do these days work for you? Oh, sorry, just, and playing the game of like, if you really want something, you'll deal with the gut. I was so annoyed with this person trying to like publicly like paint me out as like this terrible. Oh no, you won't entirely stop what you're streaming just because just because I gave you the most needy tip in the world. And so I was like, okay, can't do that. And I've been playing this game that I should feel bad about, but again, maybe this is me being terrible. But because like again, I'm happy for YouTube to refund their money if that's a thing that they'll do under those circumstances. If he falls under their policies, cool. I would like for him to get a refund if he feels like he paid too much. But in the case where he's like, oh yeah, but I also want the thing, I'm just gonna make him run the gauntlet. And I feel like it's definitely mean, but it's one of those cases where it's just like, but I find it hard to feel bad about it. Maybe that makes me terrible, maybe not. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. But for now, unless I'm mistaken, I think we have made a Purpa Temple. Oh, it's missing... I can't believe I didn't spot that until just now. It's missing it's missing whatever is meant to be. I guess 2 more layers. Yeah, there's 1 more layer, and then it's like this goes flat like that all the way across here. I want to say... Maybe it's a block higher up, actually. No, wait, I think... On these blocks, it goes 1 higher up. Like, it's like this, I want to say? Yeah, that seems about right. But, yeah, I think one of the worst things is chasing someone up so that they don't chase you up. But also, it's the easiest way to get rid of people. If you seem like you need... And it feels like almost like serial killer sociopath tips, right? Hey, if you act like you want something... then someone won't want to give it to you. Like, I feel like if someone's, like, trying too hard to push something on you, be like, yeah, like, get super, like, needy about it, and they're like, well, it's not as fun anymore. Again, maybe that is bad life advice with Toycat. Maybe that is unethical life pro tips, but I just feel like there are so many cases where people are, like, desperately ignoring your humanity and seeing you as, like, a commodity. Maybe that's just me being on the internet and existing the way I do. And I like any opportunity I have to like turn the hose back on that and be like, yep, sure, just this, that. So yeah, the inside is kind of messy. I feel like we need to have like the sides and the walls and also the stairs need to work correctly, for sure. But otherwise, unless I'm mistaken, I think we made a functional... Oh wait, we didn't make this side. Otherwise, unless I'm mistaken, I think today I made a functional Purpa Temple. Do you think it looks better at night than at day? Yeah, I think so. I think there's a niceness to this. There we go. I'm going to try and hide the gap so we can get a nice thumbnail shot. I made a Purpa Temple today, and I'm proud. And this is part of a larger project that's going to take me many, many hours to work on. This is like probably one of the last... I'm working on a lot of like survival project videos because I like to inspire people and show them like what it's like and how it goes, etc. They're very like poorly viewed videos for the time that goes into them. Like if you worked it out, it'd be something like a third of minimum wage per hour. But it's playing Minecraft, so it's the best type of fun that I will totally do for less than minimum wage. But the videos that just like any support you can give them, it's appreciated. So when you see this video in like a month's time, when you see my End Desert project video, which is just about finished now, or anything else like that, I'd appreciate some support. That's all I ask from you, if you like whatever I do. And also, I'd appreciate come along to live streams and giving tips that say literally anything else besides stop what you're streaming right now, stop entertaining these people so that I can get some satisfaction of beating you in a 1v1 for a game you don't play. And literally anything else. Any non-request, non-demanding thing, I will like you for. Also, I forgot husks don't burn in the day. But what does burn in the day is the end of this video. Because sick burn, it's over now. I hope you all enjoyed. Have a nice day. Because I'll see you next day. That's a phrase. Actually, I'll probably be streaming tomorrow, where I'll be finishing up the Obsidian Desert. So come watch that stream, or don't. It's up to you. I feel like I promote my streams too much. Yeah, don't watch my streams. I don't deserve it. What you deserve is to free your evening, work on something in Minecraft that takes you half an hour to build. Plan it out, build the thing, and then feel good about yourself for achieving something. Because that's how I feel right now. I'm gonna go eat some well-deserved Subway. Goodbye.